Okay, Matthew chapter 1, 18.
And by he will have a son, and you are to name him Jesus.
So he got up, took the child and his mother, joyfully, and left for Egypt.
This was to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet.
Which you have prepared in the sight of all people.
There was a widow until she was 84.
Okay, there are two columns, one for Matthew, one for Luke, and you made points, right? So just read through them each, and then we're going to compare what are the similarities and what are the differences.
Yahoo!
I have 3 similarities and 3 differences. The similarities is that both show that Joseph and Mary and Jesus and how he was born and that Jesus was born in Bethlehem. But the difference is that Matthew talks more about the Magi and not about the shepherds. And Luke focuses on a shorter time period. Like he doesn't show they going to Egypt. He was taken to the temple for sacrifice. Not sacrifice.
You sacrificed Jesus? Oh wow, that's terrible.
He is the lamb.
Way too early.
He's the
Chloe, tell me what you found.
So, I see 5 similarities. So, in Matthew, it says Mary and Joseph are engaged. And Luke, it also says that. Second, differences are, for example, Luke is more specific than Matthew, but Luke sometimes doesn't say some parts that Matthew does. And Matthew is more like just straight to the point to what happened and blah, not like when it happened and blah.
And blah. Okay, cool. Cool.
Good
Yeah,
observation.
very good.
Very detailed.
How about Aliyah? Would you like to share?
Okay. Mary about to marry Joseph. That's a match. Mary got pregnant. Jesus was born in Bethlehem.
Is that a match?
There's a star. There's the mark. Jesus was born.
In both cases, Jesus was born. That's very important. Yes.
Jesus was born in one story, but the other he was just like appeared. So like they went for the census, and then the temple stuff happened with Simeon and Anna, and then after that they heard from the angel that they had to escape from Herod. So they escaped and they came back. Just that Luke didn't say.
So you are doing a timeline here, right? So according to so we're putting together all the puzzle and pieces and trying to figure out, a timeline. That's what detectives do. Okay, they gather different eyewitnesses' testimony. They gather different testimonies and they piece together what actually happened. This is a timeline. Okay, so this is when Joseph and Mary, they went to Bethlehem and gave birth to Jesus, and the angel came, right, celebrated, and then finally Herod died, and they were told by an angel, now you can move back. And
So
this time,
they went back to Nazareth.
yes, they went back to Nazareth. Okay, so what happened is Luke didn't mention about this. He didn't mention this. Okay? And Matthew didn't mention these. Simeon and Anna. And also Luke didn't mention about the Magi. Okay? But just simply because they didn't mention it, did it mean that it didn't happen? No. Okay? A lot of times, tell me an example of something that actually happened but you just didn't tell me. For example,
Adriel punched me.
okay, all right, and if we didn't ask, it was like Adriel, why? You know, right? But then maybe we just didn't know that she punched you first.
And I tripped over her.
Yeah. So there are things that you don't tell because maybe it serves your advantage, or maybe for some other reason you choose not to say it. Right? You don't just get the full story from one testimony. Okay? That's what detectives do. They don't just hear one person. Okay? They ask around. You see? Because one person is not going to tell you the full story. So they have to ask 2 people, maybe 3 people, as many people as they can possibly find. And you know what? Are there stories that are going to be completely the same?
Nope, but there's
No way.
overlapping.
Yeah, they're gonna be overlapping. There are gonna be some details, one missed and one said, right? I heard from some detectives or policemen, they said, if 2 stories are completely identical, you can't trust it. Why? Tell me.
They're brainwashed.
Brainwashed, okay. All right, what else?
They have brain rot.
Brain rot. Okay.
What?
No, I mean, think again.
Well, I know.
Mhm.
Because
Good job.
they probably made it up.
Mm.
And
Together.
plus there is no possibility of anyone being the same thing unless they're friends and they planned it all up to trick the police.
Exactly, very good. Yeah, if 2 stories are totally identical, you don't trust it. They made it up. Okay? And only when 2 stories have some slight differences, some overlapping, that's a testimony you can trust. Okay? So the takeaway is, don't just believe from one person. Get as many sources as you can. Not just about the Bible, but about everything in life. Okay? For example, Adriel came to me complaining about Chloe. I'm going to also ask Chloe, right? I'm also going to ask Chloe her side of the story. Gather your facts from as many sources as possible, and that's a key because that's how you can piece together the real fact. Okay? So that's the takeaway. Alright? So that's it. Alright, thank you guys. Be wise. Be wise.